begin. Good morning, everyone. My name is Nevin. Welcome to this class. So in this class, we are doing a combination of yoga and Qigong, and I am an instructor of both yoga, Qigong, and mindfulness. And the class will naturally kind of include elements from all of those. And in terms of like your past experience, you may be experienced only in yoga or only in Qigong, and maybe doing them together may feel different. Just give it a try, and if you like it, you can just continue. I like it quite a lot. I've been a yoga practitioner for many years, and Qigong is relatively recent. One is like 25 years versus 5 years. But I really like to combine them because there are like huge benefits doing both of those as we try to move the body. So as we begin, let's just take a moment to connect with the body and then the mind to see where things are, like what is our mood, what is our state. So just bring one hand into the heart area, maybe just circle it a few times. I have my mic here, so I'm not kind of touching my body, but just like let your hand to touch to your kind of heart and chest area as you're circling. And now just let your hand rest there. You can close your eyes if it feels comfortable. And if you like, just take a moment to say hello to yourself, or say good morning, or say like, how are you doing, my dear, right now? And when you ask that question, there could be like, I'm okay, it's morning, and like, why are you even asking? Or maybe, oh, nice, thanks for checking. Just notice like almost like primal inner reaction to this question. And invite it to be just like a gentle, nice connection. It's like nice to connect with you, maybe. And feel the sensations of your hand touching to your body. Maybe there is some heat, there is some warmness, there is just pressure maybe. And feel, and almost like feel it in a deeper way so that you're almost like savoring this sense of touch. We're not able to touch to many people these days, it's relatively limited. So just allow yourself to feel this gentle, kind, attentive connection. And now as you exhale, release your hands and just bring them onto the side body. So I'm also a student at the Virginia University of Integrative Medicine. So I include a lot of points from traditional Chinese medicine, acupuncture, which are all kind of part of the same Qigong family. There are these points on the side of almost like the nipple line on the side, a little bit below here. Don't worry about like precise position, but just start to tap into those points. These points are like good for entire body energy increasing and kind of uplifting. It's not like just positive, turning things positive, but the sense of giving more energy so that you are more present. It's one of those big points in the body that can be used for different purposes. And then now bring your hands more like in the middle at the center. Just tap into that area too. These are just to start harmonizing and making up the morning energies. And now bring your hands at the back around the kidney area. First, start by massaging here. Feel the kidney area. They are considered almost like the batteries of the body. And there is a point called Ming Men. And that's also considered as like the door of life or gate of life. And it's good to stimulate that point actually any time of the day, but especially in the mornings. And now change your hands instead of just massaging. Start to make a loose fist with your hands and then start to knock to that area. Knocking to the door of life. It's really great practice to do in the mornings, but you can do this not like knocking, but maybe just like massaging version. When you go to the bed, for example, before you go to the bed. Just activating, waking up, knocking, 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 and now slowly release. Now just roll your shoulders a few times. And just let your spine stay as upright as possible. Feel free to actually sit on a chair as well, as we're going to be staying here for a few more times. And now we're going to do something mostly for the arms. We do a lot of like arm movements in Qigong, but today we're going to focus on a few points that I was feeling on myself. And these points are good for those of you who are maybe getting vaccinated or thinking about or have done it already. This will help to activate the main kind of immunity support system according to traditional Chinese medicine. And also one thing that I've been feeling lately, it's good for like emotionally, if you are feeling sad or if you are feeling like there's some grief or there's something like you're not happy, there's something like heavy. And the points, we're going to massage and do something in this line, basically. This is the lung and large intestine lines from traditional Chinese medicine. When you bend your elbow like that, you will feel, just press your finger here. You will feel a big, like very strong tendon. It almost like feels like a bone here. And with your finger, if I can come close, when you press here, there is like one side, and then there is this other side. So the tendon is in between. And the point we are going to be pressing with the thumb is like the thumb side of the, and when you kind of extend your arm like that, the tendon is almost like gone. So you won't be able to feel it. So you have to hold your arm like that. And you're going to be pressing with your thumb into this part of the, this part works for something else, so don't go there. But just like the side of the tendon, when the arm is folded like that, the thumb side. So just massage that area. You are pressing and circling. It's not like a big, strong massage, but feel a sense of like, oh, maybe something. Some of you may feel like sore in that part of the body. Just do that a few more rounds. This is a good point to activate both like the immunity, because we're helping this channel to open, and that channel is kind of responsible from protective chi, wei chi, that's called guardian chi. And now go down. Elbows and wrists are very important in terms of all these energy channels. Now just around your wrist, you're doing something like that. The points are here, and with your fingers around those, you are like massaging to help this sense of, sometimes really we have just like so much accumulating in our body, as they say, issues in the tissues. So we're working with these tissues to release some stagnated energies. And now turn your hand, like either finger, I mean, it doesn't matter really, just massage this part, like under the thumb, this fish flesh or something it's called. So this area. And then bring your hands or fingers all the way to the like nail area. And then to the index finger, just around the nail. Squeeze. And just like almost like touch now these two fingers. I'm touching the thumb and the index finger. Pressing, releasing, pressing, releasing. Do that one more time. And then release. Just take a moment to feel maybe how one side is feeling. And then we're going to do the same thing for the other side. Again, finding these meridian lines, channels there on both sides of the body. Just massaging this point to help things open. If you're feeling any sense of kind of stuckness, any sense of like, oh, this feels just too heavy, kind of hard to carry, maybe if you have anything. And you're breathing deep and nice. And now slowly, as you release the elbow point, coming into the wrist area, same thing again. You can turn your hand as you are also doing this, but you are using your fingers because the points are in this part of the body. Like there are several points here. So we are just almost like warming these points and stimulating them so that the energy comes into those areas, and naturally kind of blood will start to flow so that this whole line is almost like opening. Just do that a few more moments. And now coming into this area, massaging. There's a point right in the middle of that point, that kind of bony structure here. And it really helps to open the lungs and sense of sadness, sense of grief, if you may have anything kind of going on strong recently. And now coming into the, just around the nail of the thumb, there's a point also just here on the side. So just squeeze and feel, maybe, oh my God, it's feeling almost like so much here in my case. Yours may be different, but a lot of times there is some sensitivity around the nails. And then move on to the index finger, again, just around the nail, I'm squeezing. And now bringing those fingertips to touch. There are points also just at the tip of the fingers as well. And then do that one more time. Just squeeze, release. And just check in if you like, if there's any change in the sensations, especially around the lungs, a sense of maybe just gentle kind of opening, who knows. And as we start to move from here, bring your hands in front. So arms kind of, or rather the wrists are kind of crossing. And when you inhale, open the arms out to the side. When you exhale, bring the hands again on over each other, but change each time when you bring the hands. Now my right hand is on top, inhaling. Exhaling, my left hand is on top. So keep changing this. We're going to do this a few more times. So pay attention. We're kind of asking the brain also to be a little bit active here. Opening. And then the other hand. One more time, each hand. And then the other hand. And now we're going to change this. Open the hands all the way up. But next time when you bring the hands together, this time just cross the hands. Imagine almost like you're touching these points on the sides of the body. And then open. Almost like hugging ourselves. But again, remember to change. Now the other arm, the other hand comes on top. Opening. Let's do this one more time. See, sometimes it gets tricky. It's kind of not easy to bring the hands like that. And then you open the arms out to the sides. Next time, just stay here. But now become aware of, again, this thumb and index finger. So open your hands up towards the sky. Keep maybe slowly lifting these arms, tiny, teeny movement. A little bit, but the thumb and the index finger are very active. So you're almost like stretching a little bit. So you're extending this whole line that we have worked a little bit. Breathing in, breathing out. And you're just lifting the hands a little bit higher, a little bit almost like a sense of fatigue will kind of kick in. It's okay. And try to just push your hands just a little bit back. It's not like big opening, but a sense of just, again, being aware of these two fingers and then just opening them, almost like stretching these meridian lines a little bit. So you are this time, instead of up, you're pushing a little bit backward with full awareness of these two fingers. And then just hold your arms like that still for a moment. Breathe. And as you exhale, release your hands and just take a moment again to notice any difference, any kind of changes in the sensations. When I got my vaccine last week or so, I may have mentioned this in the other class, but so after I had the shot, I could feel these lines becoming active. It's like, oh my God, so much tingling. as the body's immune system started to almost like get ready and then start to fight this internal war, almost like that starts to happen between our own immune system and then external pathogens. I could just feel tingling, 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 tingling. All this kind of line was very active. Moving on from here, coming on to hands and knees. So I'm taking my block to the front. Feel free to use, again, a blanket or a towel or something right under your knees, so just to support your knees. And just a couple of rounds of cat-cow tilts here from yoga. So inhaling, dropping the belly, tailbone up. Exhaling, rounding the spine, tailbone down, chin to the chest. Belly is engaged, so you're really drawing it actively in. Inhaling and exhaling. If you have any osteoporosis issues or any problems with the spine, don't do this rounding too much, just stay in the neutral position. But this front body extension is relatively okay, safer. Your hands can also be in fist position if you like. Inhaling, exhaling. Do that one more time again. Full cycle, inhale and exhale. And now slowly, we're going to change this into almost like a flowing movement. So slide your hands a little bit towards the front. We're going to flow between like child pose and then tabletop kind of variation. So we'll give it a try and see how it kind of goes. So here again, inhale, your hands are slightly in front this time, not like right under the shoulders. And inhale, again, reach forward, maybe slightly different sensations for the spine. And as you exhale, rounding the spine and bring your hips to the heels. Feel your hands now like reaching towards the front. And have your lower arms on the ground. And from here, slide yourself slowly. Lifting up. And exhaling, rounding the spine and bringing hips to the heels. Feel again as you are moving whole body together in coordination with the breath and make it really like your own move. Inhaling, feel, you don't need to even like look at the screen or anything, but just like feel what's happening, this undulating in the spine. Arms are maybe stretching at some point, and then you are sliding to the front, extending the front of the spine. And then rounding and coming and feeling now the hip crease, knees, everything is kind of moving. So all of the almost like main joints of the body are working or warming up rather. Do that 2 more times. Inhaling, reaching forward, sliding. And exhaling, rounding. Again, chin to chest, belly button actively engaged, drawn in. And one last time. And as you exhale, this time just stay here in neutral position and step forward with one foot. And we're just going to do like quick, nice and easy, maybe runner stretches here. You can use the blocks if you have yoga blocks. If you don't have them, it's fine too. Let's see, I'm not going to use the blocks today. So have your hands on either side of your foot. Inhale here. As you exhale, round the spine a little bit again, straighten the leg. We're just going to be flowing here for a few rounds to open the hamstrings and front of the legs also. Just flowing a few stretches like that. And then one more time. And just stay here maybe for a few moments now in the hamstring stretch. Your hands are a little bit back now. Your leg is as straight as possible. You can play with the position of your foot down and up, side to side if you like. Are you breathing deep and nice? As you exhale, release, change the position. So take your foot back. So knees are almost like next to each other and step forward with the other leg. Again, simple, nice kind of stretches for both like knee joint, hip joint, and then front and back of the legs. Inhale here. Exhale, straighten the leg and just move a few times like that, front and back. You can go, maybe sink low. And then extend the leg, extend the spine. Spine is really elongated as you maybe take a moment in hamstring stretch. Last time, and in the next round of hamstring stretch, when you have the leg relatively straight, turn, maybe straight. Take your hands back, just stay here for a moment. Breathing in, breathing out. Slowly transitioning now again, bring your hands on either side of your foot. Take that leg back. And from here, those of you who have a downward facing dog as your practice, you can slowly lift yourself, hands pressing down, toes tuck under, and then lift the knees, coming into downward facing dog. Those of you who don't want to do downward facing dog, it's all good. You can just step forward, coming into forward fold. And knees are bent and you have space between your feet, about hip-width apart. And spine is almost just like a straight. You're just kind of folding it here. And those of you who were in downward facing dog, just gaze towards your hands and walk towards the front. Just shake your hands like this, a little bit, side to side. And as we're kind of taking a few moments here, maybe shake your head a little bit. Your head doesn't have to come all the way down. It may be just like you're staying just parallel to the ground. And if for any reason hands don't feel comfortable like that, just have them on your maybe thighs as well. Breathe in, breathe out. And now slowly press your feet firmly down. And have your hands on your thighs, and we're just gonna do this almost like really like leg strengthener, but side walk. So your knees are relatively bent. You can make it really low if you want to, if things are feeling comfortable. And then start to lift your foot, and then the other one. And then we're kind of walking sideways. And you don't need to even like take a side step, but when you do, we activate these outer part of the legs. A lot of times we don't really do much with those, but the femur bone is like the big bone of the legs, and the tendons around that, actually, they would be happy. And now walk towards the other side. You're probably feeling when you lift like this, these outer glutes are really active. Maybe go a little bit more. This can be done with the resistance bends also, resistance bends. If you have those around your feet, it can be a great practice. So maybe you can find your way, like have fun with this. Maybe your feet come close and then you do something. And then just come here, maybe the beginning position. Just stay here and then slowly open the arms out to the side. With your next inhalation, reach up high. Feel the ease. Exhale, cross your hands maybe in the middle. Your feet is still hip-width apart. Inhale, reach up high. Exhale, release again. And this time we're just gonna do a bit of a kind of like a stretch. So you can have your hands interlaced and palms reaching up, or maybe just grab opposite elbow with opposite hand. Just lengthen first, and then come into a side body stretch, one side. Inhale back to center, release the hands maybe in the middle, and then turn to the opposite side. And as you slowly bring the hands in the middle, so release your hands. And then here, we will start to shake. This is sometimes called like spontaneous Qigong, but it's in many Qigong classes, these kind of practices are highly recommended because we are almost like loosening the joints as well as releasing any kind of stagnated energies that are kind of stuck in the body. So we're starting just like really, everything is loose and nice and easy. And I recently saw a teacher, he was describing this like unsticker or something like that he was saying. And the idea is the things that happen in our day, like when you just check the news, for example, for 1 minute, the images you will see or the news that you are reading about some people, about some events, about the world, they stick to our body. I mean, it's not exactly to the body, but imagine you have all these like stickers around you from all these exposures, from the news, from the people, from, I don't know, an argument that you had with your daughter. I had one. And, or with your husband, or with your partner, or like your mom, whatever. They kind of stick. Imagine we have all these stickers around us. And right now we're trying to let go of these stickers, So just make it more active if you like. Really shake your legs one at a time, maybe both of them. Maybe do something with your head and do it really crazy. Maybe add some sounds like ha, or maybe like shh. This S-H-H-H, that's the lung sound. And you're doing it with exhalation. In Qigong, there are these healing sounds that we do depending on like what we're kind of working on. Just keep doing this. Remember to shake your head and don't judge yourself as if like you look funny or something like that. Be a bit like playfully, like a child would do. They wouldn't care. And they would just like have fun with it. And the idea, remember all those stickers around, maybe around the energy body somewhere, we're kind of letting those go and letting things flow. Just do that a few more rounds. And then slowly come into stillness. Bring your hands in front of the belly, knees bent, feet flat, kind of facing towards the front. And breathe. Your hands are right in front, almost like under the belly button. They're facing towards your body. Just notice what has changed. What have you felt? How was this experience for you? And slowly, after we did this almost like spring cleaning type of unsticking or letting go of our stickers, let's just move now with a bit more kind of flowing moments. So when you are ready, open your arms out to the side, lift the arms about like shoulder height, and then when you exhale, turn them to face up towards the ceiling, but don't bring them all the way down to the side. So they're still on your sides. And with your next inhalation, reach up high. And then as you exhale, bring your hands in front of the body. Imagine you are taking in from your palms something to your body, to your bones. And when you open the hands, imagine you're now kind of connecting with the earth energy underneath and taking that in. And then when you exhale, you're turning the hands, now getting ready to take in from the sky. Inhaling and then exhaling. We're doing this very slowly, and we're almost like having this sense of imagination, opening the hands, connecting with the earth. Inhaling, lifting. Exhaling, turning the palms, and this time to receive from the sky. This is really like a great practice to do outdoors also, so you can do this anytime, especially if your feet is also touching to the ground. We are almost like purposefully drawing from like the sources around us, from nature. Inhaling. Exhaling, you can close your eyes and really imagine you're getting this almost like a combination of the sensations, the energy, earth underneath, the yin energy, and the sky on top, yang energy. And we're kind of harmonizing the energies in our body. Let's do that one more time. Again, arms open, lift up. Exhale. This is also a practice that can be done actually. Exhale. Like later in the day as well, to kind of balance things out. And then slowly just release this sense of flow. And then we're gonna do a little bit more kind of engaged version. And you will see what I mean. This is gonna be more like yogic version, let's say. So for this one also, we're not really focusing on like earth and sky, but that's what's really happening. But we're gonna bring in this element of mind becoming more active. What are we doing with the right side and then with the left side? So when you open, arms lift up again. So one arm stays here, the other arm goes towards the sky and you lift your heels. And then when you exhale, you turn the palm and then bring both hands down to the ground. And remember which hand went upwards. And then same thing again, inhaling all the way. So this arm goes up this time and heels lift. This is all one inhale, so it becomes really slow. And then as you exhale, you turn the palm. I'm kind of turning my palm out to the side. And then slowly bringing the heels down and arms come together. So we're gonna do this a few more times. So pay attention which arm is staying where. So I have to kind of be careful. So this one will go up, heels lift. And then exhale, release. Notice there will be a sense of like full attention as well as a sense of maybe resistance or maybe a sense of like confusion in your body. Heels lift as you lift the arm. And this is normally our brains would like to do the same thing again and again. And we kind of prefer the easy route. But when we kind of challenge the brain with kind of small teasers like that, it's good practice. It's almost like resistance or kind of weight work, resistance work to build strength for the muscles. We're kind of doing the same thing for the brain. So the other hand lifts up, exhale, release. Let's do one more time each side. Arms lift, and this time the opposite hand, and then heels lift together, all one inhale. Exhale, everything comes down. We'll do one more time, and if the balance is comfortable, you can just stay here for a few breaths. Arms lift, and heels lift, and just one arm goes up. Hold the breath in if you can, maybe for a few seconds. And as you exhale, turn the palm out, heels come down, and release everything. And just take a moment to, maybe things are still kind of feeling shaky, who knows, and to kind of make things easier for our brain. Let's do now both arms reaching up and exhaling. Maybe slight bend into your legs. If you want to add on the heel lift, just reach up high and then exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale one more time. Heel, adding the heels and then releasing. Just release now everything and take a moment to feel the sensations. Maybe the brain is almost like feeling a little bit more like, oh, okay, now things are kind of balanced, or I'm kind of feeling okay. Just notice if there's anything like that. And now as we start to move a little bit more for the legs and kind of arms coordinating together, with a sense of clearing space inside or kind of our inner world, maybe cleansing in a way. So open your feet relatively wide. This is sometimes called purify or clear the inner space. And your feet can turn a little bit out towards the side if you need to. Otherwise, they can be parallel. Just check to make sure that your knees and second and third toes are kind of aligned more or less in the same direction, and knees are feeling comfortable. So, and the depth of the sinking with your knees is up to you. You don't need to go maybe all the way down, but it's up to you. So here, just taking a moment to bring your hands together. And now we're gonna tap into this point right around like this corner of your kind of base of your palm. Just doing that a few times. Inhaling and exhaling. This is also related to this opening the channels, but this time it's going to be kind of the other side of the channel because there are different channels here. So everything related to the arm and heart and lungs basically are opening. And release that tapping. Now bring your hands in the middle. Take a big, nice, full breath in. And when you exhale, open the hands, press the palms away and sink down if you would like to. Inhale, hands come again. And this time, arms reach up towards the sky. Knees sink as much as you want to. Inhale again. We're moving in 4 directions. Pushing the hands to the front. Imagine we don't have hands at the back, but we're also expanding the space towards our back as well. And now this time, pushing things down. And this is sometimes called really like restoring inner harmony by clearing space. And we're going to continue with the same thing again. Arms open to the side. And then up, front and back. Same sequence, we're going to follow maybe a couple of rounds. You are doing this very slowly, and everything is coordinated with the breath. Exhalations are pushing. Feel this whole space, like your bubble or your aura, maybe, is being cleaned or cleansed in a way. A sense of maybe lightness coming in instead of all this heaviness and kind of tight space around the heart and chest. Exhaling. Let's do this maybe 2 more times. So this is the first round, and then we're going to do 1 more. Up towards the sky. To the front, almost like to the horizon, to the front, and then the back. And then down. Clearing the cord of complexity. So this one is almost like to the external world. These are my limits, kind of setting the boundaries. And this is something, again, for external world, like things that come out of the blue, nowhere, and maybe saying like, uh-oh, kind of don't hurt me. And then this one is maybe our worries about the future. Oh, what's going to happen next? But imagine we're also doing the same thing for things from the past. And this one is just for our internal stuff, our kind of self-made stressors, releasing them down. And slowly, as you come up, just take a moment to feel here. Maybe all these kind of things have shifted the energies. And we're going to do 1 more thing for the whole body. This is also from Qigong. In this one, we are kind of tracing the channels and soothing, harmonizing overall body's energy. So with your hands, they're kind of like crossing here. Inhaling, bring your hands maybe from the front to the back. And then they will come from the sides of your neck. And then you're bringing your hands around the chest and then your back. And then from this again, the kidney area, back of the legs, just tracing the channels with your hands gently. And your fingers are, palms are almost like circling all around your foot and your toes. Everything is kind of almost like touched gently. And now the hands move upwards. As you come up, kind of to the center line, now you're opening to trace the channels in your palms, lower part of the hand, palm, and then the upper part. Coming all the way, and then as the hand kind of shifts, now to the other side. This is very soothing, really like harmonizing action for our overall energy. And then we're going to do the same thing, maybe a couple of more times. Hands go up, like real energy massage. And hands go by the side. Again, these points that we are kind of tracing back to the kidneys. And then behind the legs, all the way down. And sides of the legs. And then to the toes. Inner legs coming up. You could do this also seated if for any reason like folding your head forward doesn't feel right for you, or if you feel dizzy, you can just go ahead and sit and then do this. And then to the other arm. We start with the lower part of the arm and then move to the upper. And we're going to do the same thing one more time again. Hands cross, and then you kind of trace the face and head. And then coming down. Bringing the hands from the back. Your hands can also come from the sides of your legs as well. Knees are bent here as you are folding forward. Hands come through the sides of your feet, your toes, inner legs. And then coming here and just taking a moment to maybe just cross your hands in front of the heart and feel. Notice the changes. Notice a sense of maybe calm, maybe not, like whatever is there, whatever your experience is. But become aware of really the sensations right under your feet, your legs, maybe your strong legs. And as you exhale, slowly release. As we're kind of finishing the standing movement posture, bring one hand into the belly, just to center things in your lower belly, lower dantian energy center. One hand comes, and then the other hand. Almost like, again, a sense of gathering from around us, and then circulating, and then sealing it in this lower energy center. We're going to do this one more time, each side. We do this at least about like 3 times. And then as we finish to kind of really seal this whole practice, there is one energy line that goes through the, there are many, but this one goes through the front of the body, and it starts like somewhere around the pubic bone area and it goes upward. So with your maybe 2 fingers, we're going to kind of draw a line of energy here to seal these things in, and almost like kind of imagine we're building almost like a protective shield around us, and the hands come through the neck, throat, and then you bring them into the kind of your lips, lower lips, and I kind of just like imagine you're sealing, almost like making a knot here, and then release. Now the same thing again through the same line, going up, and then to the lower lips. And then one last time, sealing that energy inside. And there's one more thing in this ritual. Let's do that one too. So one hand comes into the belly button. The other hand will be touching into the area between your eyebrows. And you're kind of pressing both in and lifting it up a little bit. Inhaling, exhaling, pressing in and up. And as you exhale, slowly release. Just check again how things are feeling. And very slowly from here, we will go down on our mat again. So find a position. This time we're going to be lying on the ground. So just bring yourself slowly, kind of nice and easy, before we do the final, and also you can check with your nostrils actually. If you need to clean them or so, you may do that. Although we won't really do this alternate nostril breathing, it's going to be a variation. So as you slowly bring yourself down, Just take a moment to feel how the body is feeling and also how this sense of like lying down feels for you. Maybe it's like the perfect thing. You may even like go to sleep right now. Or maybe you're feeling like energized. So just check in whatever your experience. It may be very different from the ones that I'm kind of trying to describe. And when you're ready, slowly draw your knees towards your chest. Rock side to side for a few moments. And now a bit more intentionally to release any tension maybe in your lower back or so. Have your hands on the kneecaps and start to make circles. Just moving one side. Knees are relatively close to each other. Feel this sense also really like nice massage for your low back. Sides, middle back, lower back all the way down to the tailbone. And now to the other side. Reversing the circle. Do this maybe a couple of times. And now release your feet down. So let your feet be flat on the ground, but open them relatively wide. And we're going to be doing a bit of a twist. So knees and elbows will move on the opposite directions. So bring your hands up towards the ceiling and grab maybe opposite elbow with opposite hands. And right now, both elbows and knees are facing up towards the ceiling. Inhale here. And as you exhale, take your elbows to one side and knees to the other side. And gaze, your head is maybe turning towards the side of your knees if it feels comfortable. You don't have to turn the head. And then back to the center and then moving to the other side. Just do that a few more times like that. In a way like flowing instead of just like staying at the beginning. After you do this, let's say like at least 3 times each side, as the body gets kind of familiar with like what's happening. This is also in a way like a cross-lateral move in its like simplest form. Then you may choose to just stay in one of those positions. So just like on one side. As the knees are dropping one side, and if the hands, for example, arms don't feel kind of like, oh, this is something I don't like, just like open your arms maybe back, up overhead. Feel a sense of diagonal stretch happening in the body, in the front from your like hip crease all the way to the armpit and almost like towards your wrist area. And breathing in and out here. Deep, nice. Again, have the breath steady. Again, the nervous system, our brain likes things to be familiar and move smoothly. Slowly take your knees to the other side and your arms also, if they were up overhead, they also kind of change direction. Breathing in, breathing out, and feeling the sensations now again on this side. Making sure that things are comfortable for you. If for any reason this kind of position, of course, if it doesn't feel right, don't do those. But otherwise, make it like a, oh, so nice kind of stretch. Find your way of doing it that way in a way. Inhale and exhale. And very slowly take your hands and arms again to the center. And just one last thing. I'm just going to suggest this one, but if there is anything else that your body would like to do, maybe draw the knees towards your chest and go for happy baby from yoga. Or maybe crossing your ankles and then doing something like dropping the knees down. Or maybe the soles of your feet touching. And then hands under your head, hands interlaced under your head, opening your legs out to the sides and your arms out to the sides, staying in butterfly position. Or maybe your body would like to do something completely different. Just take a few moments to find whatever kind of feels right for you. I'm just going to take a sip of water here. Breathe in and out. And gradually, slowly, when you are ready, bringing yourself into Shavasana, the final relaxation pose from yoga, as many of you know. So finding yourself more or less still on the ground, on your back. Feel free to maybe have your legs up against the wall, or maybe place your legs on top of lower legs on top of a chair or something to help with maybe some inversion. Otherwise, you're just lying down on the ground. Allow your hands to open up towards the sky. Your feet are maybe just like splaying out to the side. Find a sense of equidistant space, both of your limbs, like hands and your feet, from the center line, from the spine. And become aware of the points touching to the ground, starting with the heels, almost like a mini body scan. Feel the back of your heels, back of the legs, buttocks, back of the torso, any points, maybe lower belly area, lower back area, maybe the upper middle part of the upper back, shoulders, your hands, arms behind, like at the back, whichever points that are touching to the ground, just become aware. And then become aware of the back of the head, touching to the ground again. And feel all those points getting almost like heavier and taking more space on the ground as you are softening even more with a sense of melting down, creating space in the body. And take a moment to relax your facial muscles. A lot of times we may still have almost like an expression in our face. So can you relax the muscles around the eyes? Letting the eyeballs maybe kind of to drop back or drop down towards the back of the head. Relax the tongue in a way, like the base of the tongue gets really so soft and your tongue is like just like spreading through your mouth. And we're not doing kind of intentional breathing here, but just like become aware of the breath in your nostrils. And now become aware of your right hand and right foot. And become aware of whole right side of the body. And now become aware of your whole left side of the body, left foot and left leg, and left hand, left arm. And when you are ready, now just imagining this alternate nostril breathing, lying down. So that's the easiest version. And imagine now you are taking the breath from your left foot upwards through the left leg, left arm, all kind of left side of the body and left nostril. And as you exhale, imagine you are breathing that out through the right side. Right nostril, right arm, right leg. And now inhaling from the right side, taking it up through the leg. Do your best. Don't worry about don't be a perfectionist here. Just do your best. Imagine you are taking everything from the right side now. And then exhaling it from the left nostril, left arm, left leg. And now from the left side, inhaling, imagine taking the air through your feet, your legs, your leg, your arm. And as it comes from the left nostril, it almost goes to the top of the head. And then exhaling from the right, slowly, from the nostril, arm, leg, and foot. And inhaling from the right side again. All the way up, almost like covering yourself. And then exhaling from the left. Just do that on your own, maybe 2-3 more times. Inhaling and exhaling, and then inhaling, exhaling. Kind of you take your way back with the same steps. And next time when you exhale through your left side, just release. And feel yourself now taking the breath, just simply, naturally. It is already happening right, left, like that in a way, but just like imagine or forget about that right, left. And breathing in and out through both nostrils. Again, giving an opportunity for the brain and nervous system to find some smoothness and some familiarity. Just noticing the inhalation and exhalation maybe. And feeling the body, very subtle maybe moment of expansion and contraction. And gradually feel the breath now intentionally, taking it in, make it big, draw it all the way down towards the belly. And bring some movement into your hands, maybe fingers wiggling, your toes moving, wrists and ankles circling if you like. And if it feels good, you can bring yourself maybe to a whole body stretch by taking the arms up overhead, finding your long body. As you exhale, make a circle with the hands and roll the knees towards your chest. Give yourself a good hug. Feel yourself really hugged by your own being. And notice a sense of like sincere support, sincere kind of effort for this self-care, for this time that you have dedicated for your own being. Just allow the body also to recognize that. Maybe just say something really nice to yourself, like, oh, my precious body. Now, when you are ready, take a moment to turn towards your left side. As you rotate to the left, maybe stay a few moments in the fetal position. And when you are ready, lift yourself up again. And finding your upright spine. Sitting on something, or maybe just like a few moments of this expansion, this space in your spine, maybe a little bit more space in your lungs as you find this upright position. And at the end, when you are kind of upright in this position, bringing your hands to touch, feel the palms again, the sensations in your palms. And when you are ready, bringing chin to the chest to bow to the light within. Namaste, everyone.